We've learned a lot about Nikon's current state of affairs over the last few months. Their finances haven't been stellar, and at their last shareholders meeting, they raised some tough questions and spoke candidly about some elements of their product line. If you haven't seen the video where I talk about the future of Nikon, Canon, and other camera brands, you may want to take a look at it. This is sort of a follow-up, but focused on Nikon specifically. You may know that I shoot Nikon up and down the line. I use my D800 most of the time, but I have a number of DX bodies and 2 Nikon V1s floating around my office. My digital Nikon experience started way back with the D100. Between then and now, I've owned an embarrassing amount of Nikon DSLRs. Some, like this old D50, I've owned twice. Last night, Nikon announced their latest mirrorless offering, the V3, and just a few days ago, the latest flagship, the D4S, hit the streets. Every year, things seem to get better and better. For the leaders, the changes seem to be evolutionary, while for the other guys, with less to lose, they tend to be more revolutionary. What I'm left wondering, though, is how long the leaders will remain the leaders if they remain committed to incremental updates. First, the good. Nikon excels with the DSLR design. They did in the film days, and they continue this legacy in the digital age. I can pick up my D800 or this D300S or even this D5000 with confidence, knowing that regardless of circumstance, I can just change a setting or two and get the shot. On the higher end, with the buttons and configuration options, you can change so many settings without taking your eye off the viewfinder. That's a huge deal when things are happening quickly and you can't risk missing the shot with sports, wildlife, or any other one-time event. The design and refinement is incredible. This keeps the focus on my skills, which is exactly where I want it, rather than having interface between me and my ability to capture the photo. When Nikon brought the 1 series to the street, unlike many other folks, I embraced it. It's a great little system with a ton of flexibility from telephoto to prime lenses to ultra-wide. The photos are crisp, the system is small and lightweight, and I can set the camera so that it's super simple for anyone to pick up and use, while I can still rely on many of the same advanced options that I have here on my DSLRs. Now let's talk about some of the other feedback that Nikon gets. And this may surprise you, but I think a lot of this feedback is justified. Let's start at the entry level and work our way up. The D3300 looks fantastic. Frankly, if I didn't already have too many cameras, I'd order one. The feedback at the D3300 and D5300 level looks very good, but people are asking, perhaps rightfully so, do we need a mirror at the entry level? Other manufacturers are bringing cameras to the table with similar sensor size and even full frame without the legacy mirror design. Now, some DSLR shooters love their optical viewfinder, and I understand, but there are hybrid options and amazing electronic viewfinders that have changed people's thinking on this. So, if there's any frustrations with the D3300, it's really that it performs much the same as the D3100 and the D3200. Of course, Nikon's in the business to make money, and if they can add a few features and put a new number on it, they can market the newest camera. That's what people crave, maybe ahead of breakthrough features. Moving up to the mid-range, like the DX D7000 series and the FX D600 and D610. There has been some disappointment here. There were some dust issues with the D600, which Nikon is finally formally addressing. On the DX side, the heritage of the D7000 is the very capable D90, and that spirit has continued through the D7100. The D7100 truly is Nikon's latest DX flagship body. That is disappointing for some, as the D300S was the flagship, but evolution on the DX side of the 3-digit line seems to have stopped. The discontinued D300S has the build quality and speed of a true professional do-it-all camera. My D300S has gone everywhere, done everything fast, and begs for more. It also has Nikon's upper-tier control scheme, shared by the D700, D800, the D2, 3, and 4 series, while the D7100 has Nikon's control scheme that has grown from their more entry-level cameras. I'm charmed by the D7100, but you'd have to rip the D300S out of my cold, dead hands. There's still hope out there for the D400, but I don't think we'll see one. I think the days are gone where you can get a pro-level DX camera for half the price of the FX equivalent. Now let's talk top end. You have the D800 and the D4S. Although the D4 and even the previous generation D3S and D700 still fit this category very well. The D4S is the biggest, latest machine, lightning fast and incredible in low light. The D800 lacks the speed but has resolution and sharpness that are tough to match. The D800E raises the sharpness level even further. They are all expensive cameras, but that's to be expected. The D4 versus D4S is a good example of subtle evolution. A little faster here and there, and some better high ISO performance. Some of this is firmware updates, and Hey, there's no rule that Nikon can't change some in-camera software and slap a new model number on it. That's a part of doing business. But people are left asking, where's the innovation? Where are the new game-changing features? Where's that hybrid electronic viewfinder, new lens technology, or game-changing frames per second? Or maybe a move towards sensors that can truly capture all colors without the filters and interpolation that most brands use now. Or maybe something that catches us all by surprise. Change is never easy, and if Nikon did announce a revolutionary change, there would certainly be the naysayers who would claim to immediately sell all of their Nikon gear and declare that it's the end of the world. That's okay though. The rest of us would keep an open mind and then vote with our wallets. On the mirrorless side, Nikon has been plugging along with their often criticized but ridiculously capable 1 series. My V1 shoots and shoots and shoots, and as recently as yesterday, there were new body and lens announcements. Still, nothing revolutionary, just small improvements. So let me ask you, where do you think things are heading? Will Nikon stay the course with small improvements, or do they have some tricks up their sleeve that will really knock our socks off? And should they stay the course, or will they need to start a revolution to ultimately survive? Let me know what you think.